Hello, Slothrin and adult fans of LEGO. It is time for another most excellent episode of Sloth City. And what is happening today in Sloth City? Well, as you will recall, in a previous episode of Sloth City, we have some very excellent citizens, and their names are Takata and Nigel. Here they are. You remember them. They have taken a most important step in their lives, and they are jointly raising this fine cat. And because of this, they decided that they needed to ditch this footloose and fancy-free existence that they had and settle down. And, of course, when people settle down in Sloth City, they always refer to Raymond the Contractor. Everybody remembers Raymond the Contractor because he is responsible for executing all of the new builds in Sloth City, especially in our residential section of Sloth Acres. And he has built for them a most magnificent home to their specifications, which weren't really very specific. So let's take a look at that. And here we are. Look at that beautiful home. Let us inspect it from the outside before we take a look at all of the wonderful details inside. First of all, you can see that we have 2 stories with a second-story balcony. We have a nice bit of a bump out here for the front door with a beautiful vintage overhang to protect the front stoop from being rained on in the non-existent rains of Sloth City. Beautiful vintage windows there for a front picture window. And if we turn it around, you can see we have the very first fireplace has been put into Sloth Acres. None of the other houses have a fireplace with a fine chimney that goes all the way up and has a wonderful finished chimney. I'm pretty proud of that, being the person who shows you all of Sloth City. I am proud of our fair city. Here is the back expanse with a lovely vintage door and a lovely vintage back window. And a matching door is up here on the second story leading out to the balcony. So, now that we have explored the outside of this beautiful residence, let us let Takata and Nigel give us a bit of a tour of their lovely home. So here we have them inside the main living space of the home, and they have a beautiful refrigerator freezer there on the right in a striking green. Next to that, they have a full working range top oven combination, and above it, it has one of those light and fan combinations for, aeration so that all of those smoke and smells and everything get aerated, with room on top for some canisters and things. And if we come around here, You can see that the living room furniture is all lovely and coordinating. And there you can see the fine fireplace. And you can see that even though there are only windows on the front and back walls, they still get plenty of light. So they have ample for what they need there on the main floor. And now we're going to move to the second floor, which is where they have their bedroom with the attached balcony. And since it is a little bit of close quarters and the camera takes up quite a bit of space, we have not moved them upstairs. We are just going to look here without their escort. But you can see we have a nice bed. We have a nice little table with a lamp. And they have a fine, large window there. So they have lots of air, lots of light. They still have plenty of room. It is spacious in a minimalistic sort of way. So there we have that. And also we have the access here from the roof if we need to get in there. Because I wanted to make it just as modular-ish as possible. So if we come up here and put that on there, which is hard for me to do watching through the viewfinder because I'm not very coordinated. Just one second. Okay, back on there, and you can admire the absolutely original chimney build there that I came up with out of parts that I had, because I'm sure that there are plenty of better chimneys in the world, but that was the one that occurred to me to make. And of course it's the first one in Sloth City, so it just necessarily is the best. Now let us join Nigel and Takata and their fine cat as their new home goes into the neighborhood of Sloth Acres. And here we are. And look at this most excellent scene. All of the neighbors have turned out to meet the new couple, the new family with their new cat, new friends. Everybody is here. We've got Thaddeus and Frank. We've got Lance and Larry. We've got the alien triad and their ghost dogs. We've got all of these wonderful people who have come out. Look, did you realize that Raymond the contractor and Josh were neighbors right across the street? Isn't that lovely? And everybody is greeting Takata and Nigel, and they are asking if they, want to have a cookout to celebrate. They're joining the neighborhood, and they're so excited to have another family here, and it just adds that much more colorful depth to their neighborhood. It makes it that much better because they are community-oriented, and they are so happy to welcome another wonderful alien and human relationship into the neighborhood so that they can have all kinds of diversity and learn more about one another, and everybody can celebrate all of their individualities, and all of their pets can make friends. It's all just absolutely idyllic, and I can't think of anything else to say other than it is another happily ever after scenario in Sloth City, in the beautiful neighborhood of Sloth Acres. And of course, there will be more adventures, but we know they will be delightful, wholesome adventures because nothing terrible ever happens in Sloth City. And so, my dear Slothrin and adult fans of Lego, I am going to leave you with this wonderful scene of community harmony to brighten your day. And until the next excellent episode of Sloth City, I hope that you, my dear Slothrin and adult fans of Lego, have a most fantabulous day.